Hello, strange folks of the internet. Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing something a little bit different. Since I've been in college, it's been a little bit harder to make videos. So I decided, to compensate for that, we're gonna start a new series. It's called Story Time with Nister D. Now, basically, it's gonna be a pretty rare series. Maybe every few months I'll do one where I just talk about a situation that might be somewhat interesting that happened in my life. It might be funny, it might be intense. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what you think. Alright, so I guess here we go. Once upon a time, I got caught up in a drug deal. Now, I thought this was a pretty interesting story to start off with. To be fair, I had one much more interesting, but, well, it's not really, it's still ongoing, so I really don't know how it's gonna go. So I thought we'd start with this. So basically, a little bit of background. I was a sophomore in high school. I was about 15 years old, roughly, and I saw something go on. You might be like, what did you see? Well, I saw drugs, man. How did I come about this? You may be asking. Well, it's quite simple. I had to use the restroom, and it was early in the morning. I just got off the bus. I was really tired, and I really needed to take a leak. I really did. And to my surprise, I came into the bathroom, and there were these, sketchy guys, just kind of, all grouped up together. And I was like, whoa, that's interesting. It was just marijuana. It was weed. Which was very typical, I'm pretty sure, in most high schools in the United States. I mean, that being dealed in the bathrooms is probably almost a common. And I turn around after I'm done taking my leak, of course. And they're like, you didn't see anything, right? And I was like, no, of course not. No. You may be asking, what drugs was it? It was weed. Which was very typical, I'm pretty sure, in most high schools in the United States. I mean, that being dealed in the bathrooms is probably almost a common everyday thing. But at the time, I didn't think it was very common. I thought it was a very big deal, and I was like, oh my goodness, I just got caught up in the craziest thing ever. That was wild. I'm never going to have a crazier experience than that in my life. Which is pretty sad. I guess my life wasn't very exciting. But that's not the end of the story. It may seem like it, but after that, I was like, I had to go brag to my friends. Yeah, look at me, I'm so cool. But after I told my friends about everything, and thinking I'm the coolest guy around, oh man, I got caught up in a drug deal, this is the craziest experience I've had. I was telling everyone. Lunch came around, I was in the cafeteria, I was telling everyone that, man, I saw drugs, I saw weed, I saw the ganja. I am a legend. I told everyone around. It didn't matter who you were. I mean, I was telling the football players, I was telling the high honor kids, and the so-called gifted kids, man, I thought I was the big deal in the school. I thought I was the coolest kid on the block type of deal. I thought I was gonna be the popular kid. But that isn't what happened. I more or less just ended up telling everyone and not listening to the guys. They told me oh, you're not gonna tell anybody about this, and I was like, oh no, of course not, I didn't see anything. And then I ended up telling everyone about it, because I thought I was cool. So yeah, not the best move I made by a long shot. But anyway, that's how that day wrapped up. I'm just sitting there in my math class trying to figure out how to solve these complex equations because, well, I don't know how, and I'm kind of a moron, so it wasn't very easy. But then over the loudspeaker, the names of everyone in the drug deal that I seen yesterday got called, and I was like, oh no. After that, I really thought I was gonna get called as a witness. I don't know why, like, I'm making this sound like a court drama or something like that, but that's really what I thought was going to happen. I really legitimately thought that was a possibility. It really usually does happen that way, but I never did actually end up getting called down. I did end up finding, though, that those kids were, like, suspended, which, you know, happens. After that, I was just like, man, they get a free vacation while I have to still go to school. Really, who wants to sit in that kind of prison all day long? That place just looks, ugh, does not look appealing at all. Not at all. But it was pretty interesting to see. It was a very thrilling experience at the time, and this is like the most boring story ever. I know. I have more exciting ones to tell later on, but I needed to start off with one like this that was a little bit more short and sweet, just to kind of describe what this new series is going to be about. And I think it'll be exciting. I do have some great ones, like some trips I've taken and what happened on them. Like my journey to starting a club when I was in high school. How I started my YouTube channel. That's probably one. Like what happened and how that all came to be. And probably, I guess I could talk about like my first time. That's a really funny story. Yeah, that was a failing upwards, that's for sure. And whenever I tell people about that, they do get a kick out of that one. So I'll have to just be very PG when I describe it. I could probably do like my first date, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I could do. But I'm not really sure. I guess we'll see what happens. If you enjoyed the video, which you probably didn't, it was very lackluster, and it was probably very clickbaity, but my bad. I tried to more or less just make this an introduction to the series as a whole. Alright, have a good one. Please like and subscribe.